Hello everyone, this is Ms. Rininger, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a print inspired by artist Andy Warhol. So let's go ahead and get started. So here are the materials that you're going to need for this project. You're going to need paper of some sort. So I have black square paper here, but you can just use what you have. Be resourceful. So you could use white paper, you could use colorful construction paper, you could use newspaper. Be creative, like I said, be resourceful. You're going to need a water bottle. So make sure you wash this first. A square of cardboard. I just cut this off of a cardboard box that we had. A pair of scissors, preferably large scissors, a paintbrush, and an assortment of paint. So I have the three primary colors, and remember the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue, also white to lighten our colors. Now you can use tempera paint for this, you can use acrylic paint like acrylic craft paint for this, you can use oil paint for this. I would just suggest not using watercolor paint because it's just too thin. You're also going to need a plate, that's where we can mix our paints, and also a scrap piece of paper or a paper towel. Okay, so here's how we start. I'm going to start by making some grass on paper. So grass, we're gonna make it green. And so to make green, we're gonna mix blue and yellow. So blue's darker, so it's gonna be more overpowering. So I wanna add more yellow to this mix. And this looks like a lot of paint right now, but we're gonna use quite a bit. Now I'm just gonna stir it up, and you're gonna see it turn to green. Now, if your paint's more on the blue side, you're gonna have more of a turquoise blue-green color. If it's more on the yellow side, it's gonna make more of a yellow-green. That's all okay. Now I'm gonna add some white to it to lighten up the value. So remember, value is the lightness or darkness of a color. So in this case, we're making a tint, which is a light value. And I'm going to add a little bit more yellow to make it more of a yellow-green. And I'm not going to overstir it. I kind of like that marbly effect. Okay, and I'm kind of spreading it out too. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper and my piece of cardboard, and I'm going to dip my cardboard into the paint, and I'm going to print blades of grass. So I'm going to load it up and just kind of print all over. Now once it starts to get a little dry, just reload it. And I really want to fill up my page. What I like to do is I like to turn my cardboard as I go so it goes in different directions. I like to turn my page as I go as well, so if I'm missing any areas, I can fill it in a bit more. I also like to do multiple pieces of paper just in case one doesn't turn out exactly how I like. I'm going to do a few more, and then I'll hold it up for you to see a bit better. Okay, now I'll set that aside. All right, now you can see my grass. Now I'm going to want to let that dry for a few hours, even overnight. That tends to work best. So I'm just going to set this aside. And I have one that I created and I let dry overnight, which is right here. Now the second phase of this project is to create some warm colors for the flowers. So remember, warm colors tend to, but not always, remind you of warm things. So like red lava or the yellow sun or orange fire. Pink is even a warm color because it's a value of red. Okay, so here's my clean plate, and I'm going to mix up some more colors. maybe I'll have some white here. Maybe I'll do some more yellow. Now, normally I would wash my brush, but I forgot to grab some water. So let's see if this works. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix some red and white to make pink. Now to that, I'm gonna add some yellow to make it kind of a flamingo pink. So just have fun with your mixing. Discover the new colors that you can make. Maybe I'll add some red, darken it up a bit. Okay, now here's what I'm gonna use to make my flowers. I'm gonna use a water bottle, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the bottom of the bottle off, because if you've ever looked at the bottom of a bottle, it kind of looks like a flower. So I'm going to pinch the bottom of the bottle like this to make kind of a corner, and this is where you might want a parent or an older person in the house to help you. And I'm gonna cut that corner, just make a little incision here. That'll allow us to put the bottom of our scissors in that hole and cut all the way around to cut the bottom of the bottle off. Okay. Now I'm just going to pop out the dents gently with my finger. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip this into my paint. So I'm just going to really load it up. Now, if I print it as is, it's just going to make a blob. So what I want to do is, with my paper towel or my scrap paper, I'm just going to print the excess off. Okay, now I'm going to take my bottle and just find a spot where I want to put it on here. I'm going to do 4, so I want to kind of keep it balanced. So I'm going to do 1 in each corner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in place. And if you've ever noticed, there's like kind of like what looks like a button in the bottle. I'm just going to push that button, and oh, that didn't turn out so well. Well, we can just load it up again. Get the excess off, try it again. There we go, that looks a little bit better. Okay, now I'm going to mix up a new color. So I'm going to add some more red to this, pink. Make it a whole lot darker. So make it kind of a really dark pink. Big thing about art is experimentation. And don't worry about things if they don't turn out perfectly the first time, just keep trying. Okay, get that excess off. And then I'm gonna print in another corner. So I'm just gonna kind of smooth it out on the inside there. Push that button down. And there's another flower. Okay, now I'm going to do 2 more. So I'm going to mix up 2 new colors. So I think I'm going to mix a bunch of yellow with this pink. And it's going to make sort of an orangey pink color. Tangerine. I'm going to leave it kind of marbly like that. I'm going to load it up. Get the excess paint off, and then print it. And if it doesn't print well the first time, I can just go over it again. No big deal. Okay, well, that didn't turn out as I hoped, so I'm just going to load it up again. Press it down, and that turned out a bit better. And then my final one, I'm just going to swirl in some of that tangerine color into this yellow. I'm going to get the excess off. And I'm going to print it. Oh, and that didn't turn out as I hoped again, so that's all right. I'll just print it again. Lots of trial and error here, and that's okay. A big thing in art is using your creative problem-solving skills. And I think I'm going to go over that one more time. So I'm going to get the excess off. And I think that looks a bit better. So here are my flowers inspired by Andy Warhol.